Alright, welcome back to the Supercoach Knife channel. In this video we're going to review round 16 of the 2025 NRL Fantasy season. So probably to do that, need to go back to week 16 first. So it was a good week for us, scoring an 844, which was just inside the top 2,000 for the round, and actually saw us move up about 1,500 spots into 3,500 overall. So yeah, I'll call that a pretty good week, considering we were sort of scraping a 13. We did have a pretty good 13 to be fair, but was a couple of question marks over a couple of the picks, but they come good for us. So Kurt Donahue at hooker continues to smash it up, 59 this week, so making some good cash for us. Probably play him this week, and then might be a regrettable sale in round 18, given the Dolphins are on the bye, and we are struggling a little bit for numbers there. Aaron Clark back this week from the bye. 68 points for him was a great return. We captained Terrell May, and 65 points for him was nothing to sneeze at. But the start of the show was Payne Haas. So, you know, it was under a bit of an injury cloud. Apparently played through a bit of a groin issue through Origin. But he ended up getting named, and then not only getting named, but he cracked a ton, 101. So obviously if we were brave enough to captain him, we would be absolutely flying. But considering a lot of people did trade him out because of the Origin plus the, I think round 20 he's out, so trying to make use of his money, that probably helped us get a bit of a leg up on players in and around our rank. The second row, Tallis Duncan was pretty good again with 51. And Kyle Matangi, another one under an injury cloud, but he did play, returned us to 62, so pretty happy with that. Hugo Savala was awesome, 67 points. Metcalf was pretty good too, 49. Dylan Lucas with 59 continues to just be awesome at centre. And Nwangani Tuase, 81 points, sort of all the attack and all that goodness. Pretty happy I've got him in this format. I guess the downside of the team was in the wing fullbacks. Unfortunately, Campbell going down with the HIA. 12 points for him, but he's only out for 2 weeks, given the Titans have the bye in round 18. So probably a hold, given I don't have a great deal of trades left. Teddy was quite good though with 68, so happy to have him. And Fletcher Sharp, unfortunately, went down with what we thought was a HIA, so limited his score in the 37. Turns out he had a busted kidney basically, so looks like he could miss 6 weeks, and was one we were going to try and hold through the bye, but I think now he is an obvious sell. In terms of the head-to-head this week, so I guess didn't have one in the first league again due to the byes being switched off, so only got the second league to look at, and Sydney Sweeney's with the 683 this week, so a comfortable win for us. So looking at Mark's team, you got Riley Smith with the 36, and sounds like he's going to spend a bit of time on the bench, suspended. Horsburgh with a 48, KPP with a 38 this week. Nico with 62 was good. Isaiah Katoa and Hughes both scoring 40s, which obviously Savala covered. Didn't have Gary, so cop Tom Jenkins 46 in the centre, so that's okay. Had the same back three, just in a different order. And then on the bench, Hosking with a 41. Duncan was a match. Purdue and Sandon Smith would have been the last two, so 22 and 37 respectively. So obviously, not having a Payne Haas, Savala and Wangini Tuase, big difference makers there. But if we go back to the league, so round 16, Looks like one man Tom, top scorer this week, Spiro's team with the 875. So he's been doing pretty well. I know the team's pretty similar to mine, but has Pappy with a difference there of 43. Yeah, that would have been the one difference with Jaden Campbell. So that's the extra 30 odd points. So nice and easy to review that team. And it could end up being the same this week, although I might still be carrying Campbell, I suppose, in the squad. I guess before we talk about my team, we'll have a look at the Open League. So, yeah, no real change in the top in terms of the order, but 8 and 11 for Liam's team. Not sure. Yeah, had Aaron Clark at hooker. Savala, Hines would have gone in the half, so missed out on a few points there. But Herbie was 70, was quite good. Phil's team, Fatality. So again, looping players in. So Tarpany and Clark would have jumped in there, so some good points. And, had Herbie and Nwangani Tuase. So they were probably the gun centres, and, you can put him in the wing fullback as well, which is pretty handy. So that's a nice work there. An 809 for Phil. And Schmick Richards has also been up there for a lot of the season. Only a 731 this week, so probably dropped a few hundred spots in the ranks. But still at a 13. But I guess no Payne Haas. Had Tedesco, Herbie, so I'm not too sure where the points were lost there, to be honest. Maybe Siwa Wong as well, another one who went down injured, costing a few points there. Scotty Drinkwater was a little bit underwhelming. Yeah. So, in terms of the team this week, so it should go to around 17. So we're back to best 17 for this week. We do have the Roosters on the bye. And I guess the number one problem, if I start swapping out those guys, is we're going to be short of winger fullbacks. So I'm actually going to use Kiraz in the wing fullback spot this week. So he can go there. Savala for Cleary. It's an easy one. So I guess if we just set up the team with what we've got, I'll swap Couchman up with Campbell. Actually, Vunga will play. So I'll swap him with Pasifiki Tonga. So I guess just doing a bit of a reshuffle based on the top team. Isaiah Yeo will feature on field. So Aaron Clark is our number one hooker. So we've still got the likes of Tafanga, Donahue, Current, Couchman on the bench. So pretty strong bench. And obviously, there's a bit of wing half cover on the bench. So the squad is good. I guess just the problem is covering. There's a couple of spots missing this week. So it does force us into a couple of trades. So with Fletcher Sharp, I think we trade him out. Just, can't carry him for 6 weeks. And if we'll just go down the list. I don't think he's that far down overall. So Latrell's, I guess, the number one wing fullback option that we haven't got at 718k. But we'll play Origin and then miss round 19. So probably not looking there just yet. This is a fair bit more apparently. So the next best option we've got is Ryan Pappenhausen. And, Melbourne don't have any more buys. I can't imagine Pappy will find his way into the Origin team. Despite the loss, I think they'll back Dylan Edwards in. He didn't necessarily do anything wrong. So Pappy, I think, is the easy option in. And obviously just set and forget for the rest of the year, which given the amount of trades we've got left, we do want these sort of options. So lock that one in, because sometimes when you try to do the two trades, it messes up. So then the other one is we've got to cover Nwangani Tuase in the centre. So obviously we're not going to trade him out. he's a keeper. He definitely helps us for the next couple of weeks in particular. But he is a playable option week in, week out for the rest of the year. So what I'm thinking is we weren't going to play Pasifiki Tonga this week, and given our coverage in the middle in the squad, we're probably not going to play him next week either. So he is surplus to requirements. Um, so it does give us 440k to spend, which definitely does give us a few options. But probably not going to overthink it too much. Going to take the cash making option if I can find him. I don't remember what his average was. Probably should have wrote that down somewhere. No, it didn't go past it. Maybe I did. No, there he is. So Karapani from the Broncos. 330k. Obviously, he's already made a bit of money thanks to a couple of weeks of scoring tries and all that. Hopefully it continues, but if not, like I said, he is a playable number for the next couple of weeks. So we can squeeze a few points out, hopefully get a bit of cash, and then flip him as one of our sort of last upgrades. Because I guess looking at the squad, we're pretty sort of stacked. If you just go by value, he'll be number 20 on the list. Jed Stewart is the only other cheaper player we've got. So based on the value alone, we've got 19 good options in any given week. Um, and then obviously you've got to make some decisions around who you play. So I don't hate this move of sort of sidewaysing the cheapies. Carapani's going to probably make us a bit more cash and be more useful over the next couple of weeks. So it's not ideal, but we'll put him in. So Carapani's available, which means we slot him there. And so yeah, that's the 17 for this week. So like I said, pretty strong with these sort of middle players. Tavanga might come off the bench, but pretty much plays as a lock. Or I think with Carl Lawton out, he might have to play a bit of time at 9. So I don't know how that impacts his super coach scoring. Obviously limits his runs, but the tackles will still be there. Donahue playing 13, great sort of role for fantasy. Josh Curran, he does big minute role wherever at the Bulldogs. Probably back to the front row now, so playing that big 50-minute role in the middle. And Couchman is on the edge, which isn't ideal, but still going okay. There is sort of potential to sideways him or upgrade if you look at it that way to like a Preston. I'd be keen on. Um, but at the moment, we'll save the trades until we can get to round 20 when we get the extra 8. And that's probably when we'll try to do a few final upgrades and then, we'll just have injury trades and like. So, yeah, so that's the sort of team going into this week. Captain and vice captain. Um, Again, keeping it nice and simple. I'm all on the Payne Haas train this week. Just if you pump this out after Origin and all that, it's not to say he will do it again, but we just know he'll give us a good score on a Saturday afternoon. So it'll be a nice dry track. The offloads will be there. Hopefully the tackle bus will be there. Maybe even a bit of meat for the big man. It'll be great to see. So we'll put the VC on Terrell. The way he's going, it's just an easy one. Yeah, so that's the team this week. I guess we will do the round preview just to lock all this in, but I think logically those trades make sense, and I think unless there's some sort of unknown injury carnage, maybe like a Nathan Cleary, for example, if he's out, we may have to consider trading him. Because who do you trade here? Maybe Campbell is in that same boat of not being available in round 18 either. But I guess we'll cross that bridge when we get to it. So yeah, if you got any questions, comments, thoughts, feel free to add them below this video. Give us a like if you enjoy the the NRL fantasy content. Give us a like if you like the Supercoach stuff too. Why not? All the likes are good likes. Subscribe for all that fantasy sports content. Other than that, we'll catch you in the next one.